This one's for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
You know, right now, no exaggeration, this month, I'm down over $1,000 of revenue, and I haven't made any of it back. I was hoping maybe some people who had memberships and got a free one from this stupid membership exploit that these trolls are using would have said, all right, well, I normally would buy a membership for Phil from his channel to support him, and I got a free one, so I'm going to, you know, do a super chat instead, or I'll tip instead. That hasn't happened, okay? It hasn't. And so because of that, I'm out of tons of revenue. And that's not my fault, and that's not your fault. That's YouTube's system being abused and YouTube being slow as shit to doing anything about it, as they always have been, okay? And then I boot up a game. Oh, let's play a game today. And the whole stream's dead. No one's paying attention. No one's talking. No support's coming in. This is a business I'm operating, okay? This is my livelihood. And as much as people who live in a fantasy world would like to say, oh, you know, Phil shouldn't eBay and Phil shouldn't bring any of this stuff up, that's because they live in a fucking fantasy world. They don't live in reality like us. They live in a place of rainbows, unicorns, sprinkles, pots of gold, dancing leprechauns, and shit that doesn't fucking exist, all right? In reality, I have to make a living doing this, okay? And I'm not asking for any more than what you guys have always done for me. I'm saying that now I'm at a significant loss, all right? And I'm faced with the reality that it looks like more people are tuning in and enjoying the content I do when I'm just talking with you than when I'm playing games. Not in all cases. If you're playing a high priority game or a game that's more challenging, you know what I mean? There are games that absolutely, the more hype behind them, people like that. But I feel like there's certain hype games that people will always come out and support. And then there's other games that are kind of like the games in between. And people are like, eh. And some people will show up and some people won't. Right? So I basically have to figure something out here. Like, what's the balance? What does this data tell me? Because again, this is my business. I have to analyze this data in a very smart manner and professional manner. If I'm seeing that when I am doing shows, like, for example, the podcast, or, for example, the new Retro React stream, where it's just me reacting to my old gameplay and laughing, we're all laughing together, and I'm commentating at how bad that gameplay used to be. If that's doing better than me actually playing new games, there's obviously been a change, correct? And I'm trying to observe and acknowledge this change so that we can adapt for the better. I want to put out content that you want and that you will show up and support, all right? I don't want to be playing games all day, every day, and people telling me that now I'm a dinosaur because I'm just playing games all day. Right? I don't want this to be like it was 10 years ago when I wasn't doing direct capture. Well, at this point I was, but you know what I'm saying? Like the 2012, 2013 era. Didn't do direct capture, didn't do live streaming, was just doing the same thing every day, in and out, not innovating, not changing, not listening to feedback, and then falling way behind. Because the truth is, if in 2012 I had listened to all the feedback that I was getting, and I had jumped on that movement, let's start live streaming, let's be interactive live streamers, let's change the content up, let's do direct capture, let's try new projects. If I had done that when I still had my popularity on YouTube, today things would be very different. I wouldn't have ended up being the whipping boy of the internet, right? This is how you don't play, making fun of me, Phil's the living meme that sucks at games and blah, blah, blah. None of that would happen. If I was smart enough back then to see the trends changing and roll with the suggestions you were giving me, I would have been in a much better position. But I didn't. I was obstinate and stubborn and stupid. And I acknowledge that today because it's a decade later and it's easy to look back and say, wow, I was so dumb. But back then I thought my shit didn't stink. I was like, oh, I'm the popular YouTuber, not you. I know better than you. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing because I like doing it. And I'm successful at doing it, so I'll just keep doing it and never change. And it didn't work. It ended up I had to change. And it was too little too late. And, you know, I fell behind the times. And I went from being Mr. Prominent on YouTube to the joke of YouTube, right? It's literally what happened. So today, when I'm seeing these new trends, okay, and I'm hearing these things about what you guys are saying and everything, I realize I need to listen to feedback. I need to observe the patterns, and I need to change with the times. So what does that mean? I don't know yet. I don't know. Like right now on this very podcast, I have 464 viewers. When I start playing Baldur's Gate, we're going to have 200 viewers. Because people are going to leave. You know? Now, again, not to say this will happen with every game. Hot new games always get that attention at first, but then that attention dies out over time. Certain styles of games, like the ultra challenging games like Lies of P or a FromSoft style game, those usually retain viewers and interest for longer periods of time, right? But it really depends. It really depends because it's funny. Again, it used to be any game that I played would get interest. Now, not at all. You know, like a Dragon, it's very hard to retain interest. Even Tekken 8, which I've been telling you over the last week, I love Tekken 8. I think it's a great fighting game, and I'm actually doing really good at learning it at a fast pace and getting better. Man, it doesn't seem like there's many that care. And that's sad, because I really like it. And I think that I have potential to get much better at fighting games in the future if I apply myself the way I am now with the whole studying aspect and applying. I mean,